our non-spoiler, because we need to get down to the meat and potatoes of the movie. So
Yeah.
our non-spoiler is done. So
Yeah,
anything
so-
past this, you're gonna have to deal with.
Spoilers galore, and for a movie, I mean, some people could probably predict the plot to this. You kind of know what's going to happen. So, but nonetheless, spoilers from here on in. I remember being in the theater for Bourne Supremacy and thinking, wow, it's so cool that he's got Marie, and then the sniper clipped her, and it was a wrap. They hit me even harder with Nikki Parsons, just like in the first, 15 minutes here?
Yeah, about 15 minutes. It was, I mean, honestly, like I saw it coming because she comes to him, brings him back into the whole thing where like I guess he's been like an underground boxing champion for like the last 8 years or something.
I didn't quite get that.
Like that's I need money for sandwich meat, so I got to go punch a dude in the face once and knock his ass out, and then
I thought that
can
was
go
kinda-
buy my meat and bread.
I thought that was laid on pretty thick because at no point in the first 3 installments did you ever, I mean, and I'm a big boxing fan. I mean, I never got the sense that Jason Bourne was somebody who could just walk up to somebody, punch him in the face, and knock him stark out. He was always like somebody who had leverage and pressure points and that kind of thing and just knew where to hit you, but not
Well,
somebody who would just like Mike
yeah.
Tyson your ass.
But well, you know, you get out there on the own. You got you're doing just the protein diet because you know you can't afford the fancy shit anymore. You're living off the grid. You can't you can't do a whole lot. So what do? You work out. Like you can't afford direct TV or cable or anything because you can't sit in one spot long enough to do anything. So you do your push-ups, you do your pull-ups, you eat your protein bar and you move on, and then you're like, all right, you get up in the morning, you're like, all right, I gotta knock this dude's ass out and then go get my food for the day, and then like I'll move from Iraq to Munich and you know get into an underground boxing match there, and then I'll keep moving because I can't sit still long enough. And Matt Damon, I give him props, but I mean this is something a lot of actors are doing now. Like people are getting jacked. Like
Yeah, he was pretty ripped
he looked
for this.
Yeah, like, and he only had like the one scene with his shirt off. You know, it's not like he was shirtless half the movie like a Jason Statham movie. He's got that one scene in the desert where he's like he looks depressed. He looks so depressed. So, but I mean that's acting. But
Yeah.
like he's depressed. He gets out of the van in the middle of the desert. There's a bunch of people throwing dollars or rubles or whatever it is that they're using. They're throwing those around. He takes his shirt off. He looks at the guy, wraps his hands up in the tape or whatever, and then they're like, "All right, go." He puts his hands up, goes in, throws one punch. Dude goes down. He walks to the end, his side of the ring, and takes his tape off. and gets back in the van.
All in a day's work. Another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
Good job, Bourne. And then, of course, Nikki Parsons
Makes contact with him, tells him
apparently
about some new
Greece
thing.
is like the hacking capital of the world now because she's in there trying to hack into the CIA and get
No, that
all
happened
their
in
stuff.
Iceland. Reykjavik? Reykjavik? I don't know. It's something with a lot of consonants that are together that are supposed to produce a sound. I'm usually very good, but like that was one of those. You get those people that are like, they say London, England, and it's like, well, yeah, no shit. It's London because you got the wheel and you got Big Ben and you've got, whatever. Like, we know London and it's probably in England, but like you say this place's name, and you're like, I have no idea where the hell that is. And then they put Iceland because it needs to be there. Like, you need to know where that is because like I don't know of anyone that would know where that particular city would be if they just put the name of the city. But like you could put like Washington, D.C., Washington, or Washington D.C., Maryland, on
USA.
screen, Maryland, USA, like get it down, like put the zip code and everything on there, like, well, we know where Washington D.C. is, thank you, but then like you put in like Rojapogovic, and you're like, I don't know where that is,
So please.
so they give you the comma Iceland, and I'm like, all right, now I got an idea, so like, okay, that's why there's snow there too, so I get you.
Well, the main thing, you got.
But yeah, they end up in Greece. That's their meeting point, and they're rioting. There's a riot, or it's a protest that turns into a riot, which I guess is another like kind of topic based on current events because Greece has gone bankrupt in the European Union, and they're not happy about it. But I mean, when you have 23 weeks of vacation out of a 52-week year, you gotta put a little more effort into your economy.
And then you got Treadstone is gone, but you have another program and another dude.
There was a Treadstone originally. Then there was Blackbriar, which was the remake of Treadstone, and now it's a thing called Iron Hand.
And you have a new guy, a new anti-Bourne, like they put in, starting with the
started with Clive Owen in Bourne Identity, and then there was what's his name? I know the actor's name, but he's Scotty in Star Trek now. Huh? No, not Scotty. Bones, McCoy. He was the second assassin in Bourne Supremacy.
Now we're looking it up.
Yeah, now we gotta look that up. Let's do
vamp for me.
Star Trek Beyond and just IMDb and what is his name? I know this dude's name because he also was like way back in the day. Hank McCoy or Bones, whichever way he's listed in Star Trek.
Oh, you know what?
But in any case, yeah, they have a new assassin dude. Carl Urban, thank you. Carl Urban, he way back in the day. This dude's been a guy since been around for a while because I remember him when he was in Hercules and Xena shows as I think he was Cupid to start with. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they've got the new assassin dude, and he seems a little more together than the last few have been. I mean, Clive Owen was a sniper. He took out the guy that Bourne failed to assassinate, and then shot another guy, and then tried to take out Bourne, and then he got put down by Bourne with a farmhand shotgun.
If we've learned anything throughout this series is take out anybody you want. Just don't try to take out Bourne. Because that never works.
And then Carl Urban got pulled out of a strip club and was like, hey, you said you killed him and he's not dead. They're like, get out of the strip club, go chase him across Russia. And that didn't work out. Bourne left him in a car accident, crumpled mess in the car, after that chase.
So this new assassin kills Nikki. Well, he shoots her first, and you have this whole little kind of heavy-handed kind of scene where he's like, I'm gonna get you out, and she goes to give him the USB disc that has all the secrets on it, and she gets shot as she's throwing it.
There's a locker key, but that's
the locker key that
had the USB in it, yeah.
That leads to the USB
that had all
drive.
the secret Black Ops information.
And so she's dead, and Bourne gets out, and
it seemed like he was upset, but not really. Like, he was more upset that he didn't save her, not that he felt any loss. He's like, great, another thing I fucked up.
Yeah, well, I find that Bourne in this movie was kind of cold. It was like, I almost felt like I've been through all this shit, and I'm just gonna, whatever, it is what it is. So, in any case,
like in the beginning, he wanted to help out the girl in the bank. What was her name?
Marie.
He wanted to help out Marie. Like he developed feelings, and he was still a person. And now in this one, he seems like he's like, they're all just walking meat. Well, not quite. There's a little.
Walking meat.
They're not quite that, but like he's just kind of like they've got their own thing that they're doing. They knew what they were doing, and then I'm not responsible because she wanted to get me involved in this. Like she
Yeah.
knew what was going on, and it's her fault.
Yeah, very much so. The other part that's going on in this is the same thing that like is happening at. This is the part that I could do without, and that's the whole. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. The social media and the CIA wanting to see what everybody's doing.
The Google guy,
Yeah, like if
the fake Google guy.
if you took this completely, if you took this section of it completely out and just made it the exact same thing as supremacy, like, hey, I got the secrets, I'm gonna give you the secrets, and I got shot for it, and we brought Jason Bourne back, and we're unhappy, and he's gonna come chase and give me that same sniper scene from Supremacy where you're looking through the sight, and then you just look up like she's standing right next to you. Mm-hmm. Give me one of those, and I'm good. I'm with you on why they did something like that. They wanted to modernize it. They want to do that kind of thing.
They wanted it to spark conversations.
Yeah, like they mentioned Snowden in there. But at the end of the day, it's a Bourne movie. I just thought that it was kind of late on. I think I described it in my head as like it's almost like peanut butter on the roof of your mouth. Like it's just here we're gonna give you this thing in the movie.
Well, let's talk about the little, just a little bit because I don't want to delve too much into this. That could be a whole nother podcast article, whatever. But the CIA is talking to the owner of this company called Deep Dream, and they're a social media networking giant that has, they have phones and computers that they produce that people use that people are obviously happy with. They create a system that's set up that's like, hey, we're going to curtail everything that we do, or our system's going to learn what you do, and then it's going to help you do what you do better, and it'll learn about you, and don't worry, it's all going to be private. Like, that was a line in the movie. Don't worry, no one's going to be watching you. Well, the CIA is like, no, we gave you the money to start your business. You're going to do what we say, and we need to know that information. Metadata, which is the data that's used to advertise to you, which Google uses right now to advertise back to you. That's why YouTube gives you so many advertisements that are like, how did they know I wanted Mountain Dew? They use that information already and curtail their ads to you so that you see stuff for clothing or Budweiser or cooking or Mountain Dew, video games, whatever. But they say the metadata is not enough anymore. We want what they're saying, who they're saying it to, when they said it, how they said it. We want voice
everything.
inflection. We want everything.
We want to be that guy on the top of the little telephone tower with the little wire and the thing, and I could hear all your shit.
Yeah. And the CEO of the company's like, look, I was giving you the information before. I'm uncomfortable with giving it to you now. This isn't what I signed up for. I'm out. And they're like, no, you're not out. You're not out. We will find you.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I
got the sense.
Then there's a thing about lawsuits and whatever, and then there's like, oh well, we're just gonna kill this bitch. Then we're just gonna assassinate him, and then that's it. And I'm like, well, that escalated quickly.
I got the sense that in this whole subplot that there was sort of like an agreement in place, so to speak, like
they were talking about it before, and they set it up, but
and then he just kind of changed his mind, like, well,
he's worried he's going to lose shareholders, he's going to lose his money, and
somebody's going to find out about it,
and then he's going to be in jail.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, you're either going to be in jail when that happens, which might not happen. It might not happen. We might protect you.
Yeah,
or you won't do it, and we're going to throw you in jail anyway. And, we're going to take you to court, and, like, you will be guaranteed to lose all your money that we helped you make and whatever. So it's kind of an interesting point of how much, like, it's privacy over security. Like, we can be more secure if you want to be less private, If we can, we will make sure you are so secure as long as we let this dude stand in your house and watch you all day. Like, as long you will be so secure, but like this dude's got to be in your house and he's going to be watching you while you sleep, while you eat, while you have sex with your girl.
I have
all this time.
I have the
he's just going to be
easiest-
there.
The easiest remedy for that.
Be there watching.
Everybody out there, just take a picture of an infected big toe and leave it in your camera roll, and you're good. Once they come up with that, find some real disgusting stuff on, like you cut your knee and it got really like gangreenish. Take a picture of that real close, like macro shot. Put that in your library, and they come across that, and that's it. Your library is now secure. It is hack proof.
Oh, they can just kind of buy like you just slide to the right, and you just swipe right, and then you go to the next picture.
But you can't unsee it though. Is my thing.
Oh.
It's kryptonite for the eyes. More important main plot.
Back to the plot.
Treadstone was started by Jason Bourne's dad,
Who was an analyst?
who's
Quote
an analyst.
Quote analyst.
Was quote started by quote Jason Bourne's dad, who was quote an analyst. I kept wanting more I kept wanting him to dive deeper into this. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things of like, well, we have to retcon everything now. Like, we have to go back and rewrite some of the original stuff. And the guy that plays his dad, Richard Webb, is he's more of a comedic actor. I haven't really seen him in a whole lot of serious roles. But I mean, I think he only had like 3 lines. One of them was "I made a mistake." The other one was like "I love you, son," and the other one was when he was dying.
Are you auditioning for the next Bourne movie?
As the dude that dies, yeah, I think I can pull that off. Like, you throw some red latex paint on my face and give me some latex guts to hang out, and I can and whatever. So, Greg Henry, yeah,
Greg Henry.
yeah, he's more comedic than he is anything else. Oh, he was in Guardians.
Nice.
Yeah.
IMDb is a wonderful tool. Tool. So
It's a database, huh? It's a nice little setup that they got there.
I like the.
It's great for 6 Ways of Kevin Bacon, which actually is becoming less relevant because he hasn't been in a whole lot in a long time.
I think that is now like Samuel L. Jackson is going to be the new Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
because he's in every goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I like the motivation that Bourne has here, because now he needs to find out what the fuck happened. As soon as he sees his dad's name, he's like, "Yo, what?
Yeah.
What is happening?"
Yeah.
And the motherfucker goes apeshit. He finds this dude that was following his dad, and Jesus Christ, like, you're not gonna tell me shit. Like, you don't see that.
He didn't want to kill the guy, but then he got pounced on, and he's like, "Well, now it's you or me." So,
but before that, he did shoot the dude.
well, yeah,
he clipped
but
him.
I mean, that's not gonna kill anybody. Like, well,
He's like, "Tell me what I want to know." Oh no, okay, cool.
you take one in the thigh, and it's like,
take this with you.
It's all right.
Enjoy your life. But yeah, plot comes out. He gets more information. Yada yada yada. His dad was killed by the same
anti-Bourne
from this movie. I don't.
Yeah,
and
I think that was almost
in the flashback. He's the same fucking age.
Yeah, it's
Like, they CGI'd Matt Damon's face to be like the way even
younger.
before Bourne
which they've
Identity.
been doing a lot lately since they
Yeah.
first did that move in the third X-Men movie, X-Men Last Stand,
Yeah.
when they CG Patrick Stewart to be super like, and it looked good, but you're like, it was like that Uncanny Valley kind of thing where it looked too good.
It was less
it had to be
creepy
fake.
than the creepy baby from that vampire from Twilight. But
Oh yeah,
still
the
kinda creepy.
unholy demon baby from from Twilight. Yeah, that
But it
one
was still kind of creepy. But my whole point
But
is if
this
you,
one, Matt Damon looked like Matt
Yeah,
Damon. It looked like they probably
it was
had him
phenomenal.
film this like 10 years ago and then did it.
I remember it while I was watching the movie thinking, well, they didn't give the CGI Matt Damon any lines. He was just like looking around like, what is...
So they could have maybe they pulled it from something else,
And-
like
I mean, who knows?
like Rounders. Like they was just like, oh, we'll just pull this from Rounders, add some new shading, and then like we'll just take it from there. Like we'll just say that was.
But the
original.
anti-Bourne looks the fucking same. It's the same dude. Same
Yeah.
salt and pepper hair, same length. It's like the dude, he's Doctor Who. He just went back there. I'm gonna go back there and kill your dad. And not to mention, he's from a version. I mean, they didn't really say if he was, Iron Hand or whatever, but he's from supposedly from a version of the Bourne project or of the Treadstone project that's later.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow he was an assassin before. When that happened, it like my brain rejected it because
Yeah.
I wanted to. I'm still.
It was
a
like they
Bourne
had
fan.
to give Bourne a reason to kill him at the end. I think.
Yeah.
Is that really what it came down to? He's got to have a reason for chasing him around Las Vegas.
And I don't think like he didn't even have like a "you killed my father" kind of line. It was just like we're chasing.
It
you
was
around.
Yeah. So
Tell me more about what the car chase scene was awesome, but you kind of lost it a little bit with the little part where the car goes into the roof of the casino. Or
Oh, no,
into
yeah,
the
there's-
one sign and drops. And
in most
it's
of the
like-
Bourne movies, they have a very good job of like he might have lived through that. I could have
Possible.
seen that, but there were two instances in this movie. One is kind of a fall off of a building, and the other one is this car accident where it's like, no, you dead. Like
yeah.
people don't live through that.
You're not going to
And
be
like,
in
and then
Bourne 5.
the biggest kicker that was like, I was gonna give it like a little bit of a like pass just because for movie's sake. But like then he just opens the door like it was nothing. Like, oh yeah, the door smashed all to shit. Like this is all crumpled and everything. And this is like a 2016 Dodge Charger, so like they're not made of anything. Like
the
so-
car looks like somebody stopped the compactor early
yeah.
and
And then
yeah, the
rolled
door
it down,
just-
and then rolled it down a mountain.
Yeah,
and
the door just opened.
And then he just opens the door and like, no, can you have? I mean, Matt Damon bulked up and got really fucking fit for this movie. You can have him crawl out the window. The window's smashed all to hell. You can have him crawl out the window and fall out the car. Like that's not out of your budget. Like
yeah, I
like
mean,
you can do that. He's got like, oh dear God, Matt Damon has to crawl through candy glass. Like, oh well. Like you can do that. Like give us something.
I would have
Like we're not dumb.
Same with the fall. That especially the
fall in
the heavy
general-
ass cable that's wrapped around limbs. You mentioned it was a leg. I thought it was the arm, but it looks like it was the leg, and that's amputation time.
Yeah. Well, I had an okay problem with that because the cable disconnected from the building and then it swung him. The problem I had was when his initial impact area is his face. Like he made contact with the ground with his face first from 5 stories. I'm like, come on.
I could see another Bourne movie where they say that there's like a little fucking defibrillator next to because there's
Next
there's
to
a
his
lot
heart
of,
just to kick shit back on.
Yeah, there's a couple of times in this movie where he falls out and he's out, and then his eyes just open up like he's undead, like oh I'm good, and then he's getting up and running, and almost like that old Hulk Hogan like no explosion in my face, no, that didn't do anything, I'm good, but nonetheless,
That is, it's a movie, and it entertained me. And I remember visibly and auditorially in the theater being like, oh. for that one, the falling off the building one, I was like, oh.
like he ain't, something.
And then I'm
something's
like,
wrong.
oh, he got up. Like I thought, like at that point, I thought he was gonna get like kidnapped. You know, like he was going to be out. Like I knew he wasn't dead because it's a Jason Bourne movie.
Like
but
he was
like,
gonna,
but he's going to be like
he's
he's going to wake up tied to a chair somewhere. Like
he was
that's
gonna
what
do
I
the
thought.
Taken thing, like just gonna wake up and be
Yeah.
tied with his hands in the air and try to figure out how to get out of that. What did you think of the CIA director, Tommy Lee Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones does good no matter what he is. With the previews for the movies that we were seeing before this, like I was starting to make comments about like some of our old favorites are getting haggard in these they're like their twilight years kind of a thing. Like we had a couple of things for where Tom Hanks was in it, and I'm like the first preview, he's the captain that landed the plane in the Hudson.
That's Sully.
And I'm like, I'm like, is that how Tom Hanks looks now? I'm like, oh my God. And then they had the next one for Inferno, which is the next line in the Da Vinci Code series or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, see, okay, I can buy him looking like this. But like, you wonder, like, if you take out the magic of being a Hollywood movie star, and I'm like, how, like, which one is closer to the real?
I'm very scared to find out. Like, I would not want to know that because
So,
I
like, on
I
those-
really like Tom Hanks.
Like on those Star magazines, they're like, "Is that real? Like that's got to be fake, right? Like they don't look that old, do they?" I'm like, "But maybe." But no, Tommy Lee Jones, despite starting to look his age, did a really good job. He's acting. He even took like at the like, you know, I know we're in spoiler territory, but like that fall that he took at the end, where he like knocks over a lamp and into a table and then falls into the corner, like. That was him doing that. Like he didn't have a problem. I'm like, oh, did he break something? I'm like, but poor man. Like hopefully his ass landed on a cushion, you know, out off camera. But still, I was like, oh, he. But like that's also the same thing with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was like, no, punch me in the face.
Do it.
Like this. Like you're not gonna hurt me. I'm just a dude. Like, do it for the camera. I'm not afraid. Just hit me. Like, I remember that conversation that Gary Oldman had with him for Air Force One, where he's like pulling his punches and he's like not hitting him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Harrison Ford says, "Just hit me." He's like, "I don't want to hit you." He's like, "No, it'll look good on. Just punch me in the face." I'm like, "Damn." You got a manly man there. He's like, no, I know. I'm getting
the old school commitment.
I'm getting paid millions of dollars. You can punch me in the face. So, but no, he did a really good job. He does a good job of being evil, you know, and he has a tone in his voice that conveys, well, if you don't do what I'm gonna say, you're gonna die. Like, and you're like, oh. He's serious.
I like well, I say energy, but I don't mean energy. I just mean like
presence.
That ambiance that he brings to a character, because it's really like a low key, but it's very matter of fact. Like you said, this is what's gonna happen, and you believe it. I liked him actually better than any other quote unquote director in any of the other Bourne movies. Because I felt that he had more of a more of a commanding presence. At no point did you see him be panicked, like, oh no, Bourne is coming for me.
He's just like, take me up to the suite. He's like, no, we need to get you out. And he's like, take me up to the suite.
I need to talk to this young man.
And they're like, okay, you do what you got. But no, Tommy Lee Jones's stuff was solid, is on point.
Say that again.
But no, Tommy Lee Jones's stuff was solid. It was on point. So I enjoyed his acting. I thought he brought a lot to it. And the previous directors that we were doing in the older Bourne movies were good, but they weren't as threatening. The one that I always confused for Bill Pullman in the early Bourne movies did a really good job too. But Tommy Lee Jones was this dark threat kind of thing that he had going. So,
and then I mean, I know we're in spoiler territory, but it's kind of obvious what happened, what his fate is. We won't go into that too much. The ending of the movie.
The ending of the movie is what I was touching on earlier. That I think a really cool concept would be half a movie bringing Bourne in to be like, listen, we got a thing happening. You're the one. We need you because to help us with this and bring him back into the CIA to handle some stuff. And then like I think that would be a great direction for the Bourne movies to go. But I think that's probably what they were trying to set up. But
I thought
this girl analyst or whatever that was working under Dewey or Tommy Lee Jones
took his place. Apparently wants to take his place.
Yeah,
and to do that, she has to bring Bourne in, and so she meets with him. But she had a conversation just before that where she said she's willing to kill him, and he just gives her a tape where he
recorded it. He's like, I know what you said, bitch. Bitch, I know, like, bitch, you can't play a player because you gonna get hurt.
I could see Bourne like that, and then seeing Bourne go off into the sunset gives me like that whole like, well, now I'm gonna be the super spy on my own superhero. You can't control me, kind of thing. Because hey, I tried to trust. I've been through how many of you fuckers, and everybody wants to kill me. So fuck you. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
I try to go, and he keeps trying to go away, and they keep bringing him back. So you want me here?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna be, super spy, Bourne guy.
Yeah, but I think trying to bring him back in and having this kind of like dual, like trust issue, like where he's working with the CIA to stop a thing from happening, but he can't really 100% trust the CIA because he's worried they're gonna try and kill, like, oh, he's done the thing, now put a bullet in him, like kind of a thing. So, yeah, I think that would be kind of like an interesting direction to take the Bourne movies because, as we see here in this movie, they've kind of slapped some Force Awakens paint on it. It's like, oh, New Hope, Force Awakens, kind of the same movie, but there's like we added different background and new paint.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a rehash. I mean, it's good, it's different, it's its own movie, but like you can see correlation between the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I like though is that you can see that correlation, but it's not formulaic. It's not. I mean, it borders on it kind of touches on the fringe, with the story arc, but it still has its own kind of thing to it.
Yeah. Which was good, and you've got to start keeping, like, if you're going to have a franchise like this that continues on, and if you want to throw Jeremy Renner into this again, maybe in the next one they'll have Damon and Renner. Maybe you think that could happen?
Why do you do this to me?
Because, well, I'm speculating. I'm playing the devil's advocate, which the devil's advocate is the studio executive who's like, do you think we could make money off of that? If we can make money off of it, we'll try it. No,
Yeah.
it didn't make any money. All right, we're never doing it again.
Dear movie executive that's having this thought right now, if you do that, I will send Jason Bourne. I'll find him. Like I know he's a fictional character, but I will find him and send him to your motherfucking house. And it'll make it look like, suicide and all that other shit. And don't.
I think that was a
Please
preview
don't.
for a Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, please don't please do not freaking do that. No more Jeremy Renner. I mean, I'm embarrassed that the Bourne, what is it, Legacy? That shit is on my in my library because I bought the collection and I didn't know that shit was in there. I would have bought them separate and paid more. Just saying. Well,
and we like Jeremy Renner as an actor. I like Jeremy Renner. I think he does a very good job in a lot of stuff that he does.
Yeah,
but there's
absolutely.
But it's kind of like the same thing with Ben Affleck. Like, he has a niche that's pretty good, but like, there's some stuff that he shouldn't delve into. And I liked him as Batman.
Me too.
And and Bruce Wayne. I thought he did well.
Me too.
I didn't particularly care for this version of Batman, but whatever. But in any case, I keep going back to that because that's that's going to be my most debated movie for the rest of the fucking year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, final thoughts on Bourne. Final thoughts on
Final
Bourne.
thoughts on Bourne. 7 out of 5. Worth a theater ticket. The overall, pleasant surprise of having another Bourne movie that actually had Matt Damon in it was great. When I saw the first preview for it, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go see that. Like that's our shut up and take my money. Like it's already done. Like I'm gonna go see that. I fear for the future of the franchise because I hope it doesn't turn into like this rehash of stuff. But things got to keep it fresh. Like they've got to take their own efforts into making something new and viable. I'm tired of remakes. I really am. Like,
if I look at this movie kind of in a vacuum, my final thought is this. When I had the exact same reaction as you when I saw the first trailer for it, which was, another fuck, that's awesome, let's do it. And I was not disappointed. So overall, I went to see Jason Bourne, and you had the very short trailer. You just you know his name, punches a dude falls out. They didn't even have that knockout in the movie. Now that I think of it, but or they did, but it was from a different angle. But
yeah,
I go to see the movie and I'm not disappointed. That's the biggest takeaway I have is that it lived
you
up
get to see
what
Bourne
I
fight
expected.
with an object that you're not supposed to fight with, which I think towards the end in this one was a coffee can.
Yeah.
Where he disarms a dude with a knife with a coffee can and wins.
There we go.
What were some of the other fights? In any case, I don't want to ruin. Those are probably. And just as a thing for camera style, Jason in Bourne Identity, great fight scenes, great camera work, everything. Bourne Supremacy and Bourne Ultimatum, great fight scenes, terrible camera work because I can't stand the super close up, like 13 cuts in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Camera work where it's also a shaky cam. Like I'm like look, I don't need to throw up while watching a fight scene. Like I get a fight scene where it's like give me a little bit of like back and forth, but like it doesn't need to be super stylized like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but like you can have like a good fight scene with like a dude fighting another dude and then he beats him with an ink pen and like that's like in the first one like that was it was amazing. I was like everything's a weapon like to the right trained guy everything's a weapon. And then the fight scenes were much easier to watch in this. They still had a lot of scenes that were super close up, but it wasn't the shaky cam, which is what gives me pause. So
cool. So well, that was your review of Jason Bourne. Great movie. We will be doing more podcasts. We will be not
doing
just delving into movies,
different topics. Yeah,
different topics. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And we'll see you next time.
We'll read the comments.
You'll read the comments. I will go to sleep.
Well, I'll read you don't have to read the comments like immediately. Like you can read the comments later, because they're not going to go away. You can read the comments for ideas on what to talk about or what people want to listen to.
I still just want to go to sleep.
Okay, well, you go to sleep then.
All right. So until next time.